today to another video review. As I promised, this one will be the other Avengers film review, which is the spoiler. So, we're obviously talking first about the film itself, as well as what I like, what I didn't, and my overall thoughts. So, if you haven't seen Endgame yet, I'll suggest don't watch this review. I'll suggest go and watch either spoiler review, non-spoiler, sorry, or go and watch the film first before come to this. So, but if you want to watch it, the review, it's up to you. If not, just like I said, go watch the film first. So I'm really excited to do this. So yeah, so this one it left off where Infinity War kind of left off sometime after, where it starts off with Hawkeye, because those who are wondering where he was there on the farm, he had the bracelet, so he's still there, basically with his family. He's teaching his daughter how to bow and arrow before because as you know, like in Ant-Man, when you had when Scott went into the accelerator thing, where we call it, and then next shot you saw was the Phantos snap the Infinity War and dust. Same way it shows that. So it got to his family, and then it goes to having the Avengers talking about Thanos, and then some of the Avengers are there trying to figure out where he is as well. And then they end up finding him that he's actually on a farm. And also cuts to and you also have Tony and Nebula, who are still on the ship, and it's funny because Tony's teaching him how to do that. So it's when you're supposed to do flick the paper and then go inside go like that. So that bit's funny. Anyway, so the Avengers, they find Thanos on a farm, and he's kind of washed away per se. He's he doesn't have the gauntlet on him, or he has the gauntlet but he doesn't have the stones, because he said when he did that they went back in time, so back to where they originally were. So, and plus you saw that he actually has a massive strain on him as well. So that's why. And then Thor was really obviously angry because he already was depressed, because it was the fact that's his fault, the reason why everyone's gone, because if he had gone for the head, then Thanos wouldn't gone snap. That's why this time they were like, what are you doing? This time I went for the head, like that. So yeah, plus then you're going to sit into 5 years later, where you have everyone's all scattered around doing different things. You have Clint, who's became in the comics, Ronin, who's now hunting down people, especially criminals as well. You have Natasha, who's all depressed as well. You still have Tony and Nebula, who's still in space. I forgot to mention that bit when, like I said, that game. I forgot to mention that was after 5 years. You have Thor, who's now gone more depression, gone fat, and stuff hair's gone long again, his beard's gone massive. He's basically playing Fortnite as well, and it's funny because he's arguing with this. I think it's a kid. He's arguing with that. It's proper shining. Whoa, chill. That's the kid as well. And it's funny because you also have Rock, who's one of my favourite characters from Ragnarok. So funny, you got him there as well, living with him. You have and because the place is basically called New Asgard, where Valkyrie's there as well. And you also have Hulk, who's now turned into Professor Hulk, because what it was that he was trying to figure out how to get the Hulk back as well. So when he did, he figured out a way to basically fuse Hulk and himself together to create Professor Hulk. So in other words, he's still the Hulk, so proper like big as it is, you know. But it's basically like his face is more Bruce Banner's with like the glasses and everything. So he's got Banner's strength and no, sorry, Hulk's strength. I mean, and Banner's brains. So that. Plus, you also have Rhodey, who's like him, who's like somewhere else, different mission as well. Plus, so is Captain Marvel. She's gone different planet as well, protecting him as well. But then then it goes to also Cap as well. He's in this support group. So that, and then also the next thing you see also as well is that because Scott, he was still in the quantum realm. Sorry, he was like, but like a rat, literally a rat, he like presses onto the button accidentally and releases him. And he's like, when he goes out, he's like, he doesn't know what year it is and everything. And he's like, well, everything's changed. Where's everyone? What happened? I've been gone for so long. Because really, it's been like, to him, it's been like, yeah, altogether it's been 5-6 years. So, since he's been in there. So, technically 5 still, but you know, yeah. So then he, because there's a wall as well, which has like all the people that have actually been dusted by Thanos, and one of them is actually him as well. And then when he goes to his old house and he sees his daughter, who's gone proper grown up as well, and then he goes to find Cap and everyone, and then he tells them what happened, you know, how he survived the snap, you know, where he's been for like, what, you know, basically why he was in Infinity War. So you have that, plus you have, not only do they have Captain Marvel save Nebula and Tony from the ship, so brought them back to Earth, but you also had them meeting Clint again and bringing them back to there, and also Rhodey came back as well. And you also have this thing where it's like they want to like, a way to save people like is to like go back in time and save the Infinity Stones before Thanos ever got them, you know, before he ever hunting for it. So what they do is they go to Tony, who's actually married to Pepper and they have a daughter as well, and he's like, I don't want to be part of this anymore, like I just want a normal life. So eventually he does agree to it, and funny enough though, he's the one who comes up with the idea. So then all the technically main 6 Avengers plus Rhodey and Ant-Man and Nebula come back. They basically, and also want to mention as well, what's his name? Rocket. They come as well. They all go in different points in time because they realise one thing as well, which is that because like in New York there was like 3 Infinity Stones at the same time, and basically obviously scattered in it, so they got split up into different teams. The first one is like basically Cat's team, as it were. Some of them who go there, they go to New York, and it's actually like, and you also see, and you'll notice as well in other places like that New York plus the Asgard and where Rhodey and Nebula are on that ship where in the Guardians of the Galaxy. You notice as well a lot is that it links as well to like the other, not just Avengers movies, but basically the past 11 years, basically some of the Marvel movies. There's kind of like a little bit behind the scenes sort of thing, you know, whilst that's going on. So, sort of thing. You know what I mean when you see the film. If you have seen it, then you know what I mean. So have them, and you have Bruce who goes to talk to, I forgot her name, but she was in Doctor Strange, who gave Doctor Strange the amulet itself with that stone there. Plus, and you also have them getting the Tesseract as well. And one scene you see that, one of the scenes you also see is that, obviously, it's really funny as well, because like, you see that when they first arrive, and obviously that bit is that bit is basically from the first Avengers, and you see like Hulk like smash like smashing the car, and they were like, what the hell? And look at that Hulk like, the hell? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, God. That's quite funny. And then, anyway, yeah, one of the things you also see is that, again, in the first Avengers movie when they kidnapped, when they, not kidnapped, but when they captured, uh, what's his name, Loki, and he has that mask thing, and then obviously he has the Tesseract and the, that, I think it's, I forgot what the staff is called, but that one of the stones, yeah, there. So there's three of them. So plus that lady, like I said, from Doctor Strange, she gives Bruce that stone, and then there's also a fight between the two Captain Americas. Because what happened was that when they got the Tesseract, but then like because what Ant-Man had to do is go inside Tony and show off his thing. So it's the Tony that it is the from the first Avengers, that Tony, and he has shuts that off, and then but in the midst of it, Hulk, who already the Avengers Hulk from the first one is like angry as it is because he has to take the stairs, so he smashes the door, but then the now Tony, so the present Tony basically, he gets knocked over, and then the stone, the Tesseract, falls out, and then Loki picks it up and then escapes, and then there's a fight between Cap and the past Cap and the present one, because they think that the present one is the one is Loki in disguise, and the Cap that's from the past is the Cap from the from Winter Soldier basically. They're fighting, and it's pretty clever thing as well, because like what it is that he says, because he sees Punisher and everything is on the left, and because one of the scenes from the Winter Soldier was like because those guys were traitors and they were like work for Hydra. So he was like, so it's clever because he knew what to say because he's done it before. So he's like, "Hell Hydra," and they're giving the things like, that's when he meets that Winter Soldier Cap, and they fight, and then he's like, "Fuck, he's a lie." He's like, "What?" He's like, bang, knocks. Then gets knocked out. So then the present one takes that one. Is like, because obviously, like I said, clever because he knew. So then basically, a three from there. And whilst that's happening as well was that Thor, him and Rocket, they go to that basically Asgard, which takes place in the timeline for that one was basically the Thor 2, where you had Jane who's still there, and she had that stone in her stomach, the ether inside, so they're like basically take it out of her. So it did. Oh, for Tamisha as well, yeah. The uniform that they mainly had first when they went back in time was the updated version of their uniform, because that little bit was got proper space suit, except for the only one that didn't really have it was sort of Rhodey and Scott sort of thing. So yeah. So anyway, so like I said, obviously Thor, he got basically emotional because that day that they went to that timeline was the same day that his mum got killed, so which is quite sad as well. And so he didn't want he just wanted to spend time with his mum because he knows that he won't ever get the chance again ever. So like I said, quite sad, emotional as well. So Rock, whilst he's talking to his mum, because at first he's trying to hide from her, and then she's like, I know you're not my Thor from this timeline, you're the future one. Not just because of the beard and everything, but she can sense it because it's a mother. And so Rocket is like stealing the ether from Jane, like took it out of her. And it's funny because he's like run, he's like running from the guards. It's like, oh crap. And Thor's like, I gotta go. Sorry, if I want to save time, I'm gonna tell you. But she's like, you gotta go. So it's like before he goes, like, wait. I want to try something. He goes, I guess his original hammer. I'm not gonna bother trying to pronounce it because I'm gonna butcher. Cause I know I'm gonna butcher it. So allow trying to say it. But what his original hammer they had before it got destroyed, before he got Stormbreaker, he's like, I really. Rock is like, bloody hell, man. Wait, you made me wait just for that? Really? Bloody hell, mate. So there you go. And then you also cut to also Rhodey and Nebula's part, where that one takes place in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that bit is that supposed to be before that, because that before Peter comes, because that's where the last one of the last no, one of the Infinity Stones is as well. So you also have that, and also cut to like the past Nebula plus Gamora and Thanos, because they were there obviously back then as well, wanting to go to that planet, and then that's when it gets like a little bit confusing as well. Like, so what it is that they do end up getting the crystal, yes, and going back to the past, but what it is that the present Gamora, I forgot her name now, Nebula gets kidnapped by Thanos, and then they find out that she's the future one. So what it is, they capture her, and then because she says to Gamora that, do you know why I turned good? Yeah, because he's a selfish man, and do you know how he got the Soul Stone? Yeah, and President was like, shut up, kicks her and then knocks her out, and then steals her, whatever, the projector thing, and she wears it and then makes everyone think that it's her. So you also have as well the last bit before going back to the present, or before they all proper grab her as well. Like you have like Clint and Natasha to go to get the Soul Stone, where you meet Red Skull, and because obviously it's like soul for soul, so it means you have to sacrifice yourself or something precious to be able to get the Soul Stone. So they both have a fight, like, who's gonna sacrifice it, and everything. And Clint's like, I've lost everything. But Natasha's like, I never really had a family until I met you lot. So it's time for me to go. So they're arguing that, and then they literally fight each other. But then Natasha's the one who ultimately sacrifices herself, and Clint's like, no. But obviously, he gets the stone and then goes back and he tells them that Natasha, she sacrificed herself, because that's when they also realise that how Thanos actually got the Soul Stone in the first place, which is by sacrificing Gamora, which obviously the audience, us as audience and stuff, already knew from Infinity War. So that, but then they make this new gauntlet as well, whilst the fake Nebula, as I'm gonna call her now, she because after because Hulk wears it, and when he does a snap and brings everyone together, back literally from who were already in the snap. But there's also, they say there's also a consequence to it, which is like you get either your arm gets broken or stuff like that. But there's a big strain on you, so that, and then and the stones, because obviously they're still there in the thing. So the fake Nebula, she creates this thing which opens up for Thanos to the past, as I call him, or and I'm calling him proper Thanos now. So he comes to this timeline, the present, and then because also you have Gamora who talks to the real Nebula, and she says how they became friends, why she betrayed Thanos and everything. So that, and then also you have, so Nebula gets saved by Gamora, and Gamora saves the fights with the Avengers, and because Avengers have this massive fight with Hulk still not able to fight because of his broken arm, but still, so some of them do fight, and then you also have, and one of my most favourite bit is, not only is it like Thor who's got both his hammers, it's like, yeah, it's kind of a callback to Thor Ragnarok, I think it was, or Thor 1, yeah, is where his dad was like, are you Thor, God of Thunder? Or Thor, God of Hammers? Technically, he is God of Hammers now, because like, he had both. And like I said, when they were because they're beaten down as well though. But like I said, one of my most favourite part of it, because my other favourite part will come later as well, but because there's two other ones as well. One of my most favourite parts is like, you see the first hammer, it's like, and it goes, and you have like, and you see Cap like, yeah, and Thor's like, I knew it! Because it called back to second Avengers when they were trying to lift up the hammer, and I was like, ha! You got a card, pick it up, you have to be worthy, none of you are worthy, ha ha ha, lol. And then Cap's like, almost picked it up, and he's like, crap, damn, maybe someone else is worthy. Oh no. And he put it down, like, oh. But call back to that, which proves that yes, Cap is worthy. And for those who've read the comics, know that one of the people who can actually lift up the hammer is actually Cap. America, yeah. And then, like I said, my second favourite part, like I said, you have like everyone obviously, kind of obvious as you know, everyone else who survived the snap except for the real Gamora and Loki and Black Widow, which, as you know now, is that those people who died before the snap actually can't come back. It's only those people who, because of the snap, who turned to dust because of it. Literally, quite a lot, everyone came out, yeah, massive fight. And then my other favourite part, like I said, they're trying to they give the gauntlet, like, shift it around sort of thing, trying to save it. Is like, no, because one of the people they give it to is Peter, and then he checks and then you see Captain Marvel coming back like finally, where the hell you been the whole time, man? Or whatever, so and then you also have Pepper as well, who has this Iron Man armor as well, but like female and purple, and you have like all the like female like warriors. Technically, it's like gut feels like, damn. All right, so do that, and then like I said, it's kind of like a football, basically, where like shifts around like that, like gone like everywhere. Like how like in football, you obviously like pass to different people, teammates like that. They pass it to different people as well, until until Tony gets in, and because unfortunately Thanos has it, and then Tony's fighting him, and then very good. He steals the gauntlet. He's like, I was like, what the hell? Like, literally like, oh crap, where's it going? And he's like, I got it. It's literally his shape, obviously like fits. He's like, how you doing? Or I can't remember what he said, but I can't remember the line exactly. If I know Iron Man was like, because I'm Iron Man, which is a callback to the the first Iron Man, where after he actually became Iron Man itself, and he had a press conference. He was like, allow it. Like, I'm Iron Man, and obviously he went to the credit scene. So like that, he did snap, and then wished for all the villains to go. But there's the consequences because he dies, and there's like funeral. Everyone's there, including Nick Fury, and also another callback to the first Iron Man, where he had one of his arc reactors, which gets pushed into the sea. Now, so that, and then you also have Peter going to school, and everyone's trying to get back to their normal lives, basically. Trying to adjust to it. So like that, it ends like with that sort of thing. And then so also there's no like mid credit scene or end credit scene, because there's the end of the Infinity Saga, and end of the main Avengers, them like retiring. Oh, also one of the bits I forgot to mention as well is that when they go back when Captain America goes back in time to put the Infinity Stones back, what it is that he actually like comes back as old man Cap and gives the shield to not Bucky, sorry, Falcon. So Sam, basically saying that he's retired and he stepped down, and showing that he's actually chosen to actually retire and hand over his mantle to someone else. And it seems that Bucky is actually happy about it as well. He's happy with the decision. I forgot to mention as well, one of the other bits as well, when they went back in time, is actually also again kind of the first Captain America as well, and you saw like where he had a conversation with Tony with his dad, and also Cap looking out a window, seeing Peggy. And also because now, like it was that when he went back in time and as in Cap himself had put back the stuff, it showed that he decided to stay back in time and actually like see the things they missed out on in all these years, as well as having that date and the dance that he promised Peggy all those years ago. Finally get to have that. So yeah, that's it. And what I like about it is that, like I said, there's it's really good. There's like really emotional comedy, proper comedy as well. Plus, also going back in time as well. And, like you see all these like places as well that you recognise, proper nostalgic as well as seeing all obviously those people coming back as well. You like recognise as well as not just like who came back from Snap, but also those people who were in that timeline, such as like Howard Stark and all that, everyone as well. As well as the other thing I like as well is like there's a lot of pop culture references, and also again like I said back in time as well, like references to those like that you recognise, such as that scene with Cap in the elevator like that, like and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. What else I like? Yeah, it's pretty good as well, like emotional as well. And I like also that, like I said, it's the end of the Infinity Saga, so it's a really good way to proper end it as well as a good send off to the main Avengers. Showing that all the stuff that they've done for the last 11 years, like saying a massive thank you as well. Because I forgot to mention, there's also a scene at the end of the film, like instead of a mid-credit scene and stuff, there's also you see those actors such as Robert Downey Jr. or basically all the main Avengers, main six, with them there like individually, and then have their like autographed sign, with their name and saying their character as well. So especially but the picture that it has is of like their first film, like such as again using Robert Downey Jr. like his first Iron Man, because obviously even though technically Captain America is the first Avenger, but Iron Man is the one who started it all off, really. Started the Infinity Saga proper off, really. Because after it's like more, because Captain America, that's set for, but you know what I mean, yeah. So like that and the picture that I had of him was of the first Iron Man, and then has his signature, Robert Downey Jr., and I can't remember if it has his superhero name, Iron Man, but still, it's good. And what I didn't like was that, like with the funeral scene as well, they basically forgot about Natasha as well. Basically, like not saying I have a funeral for her as well, like a tribute not just for Tony but her as well, since she died. And the other thing I didn't really like as well is that, like I said, she's basically forgotten. The other thing I didn't like as well is that technically still like the fact that Cap gave the shield to Sam, even though Bucky he's known for more longer. They're doing everything together. So I thought they might give it to him because if you know it again from the comics is that uh, Bucky and Sam are like the two of the people who were like the new Captain America. So I would have thought they'd give it to him, but gave it to Sam instead. But lower nitpick with that. Also, love to have seen like how Cap actually goes back in time. Like, I mean, obviously it shows it, but in that timeline, like interaction as well, like how he puts it back. Where he puts it as well, especially like when he goes to the Soul Stone as well, like interaction with Red Skull. Because as you know from the first Captain America, they were enemies. So that how his reaction is like with him being alive, like that, and also what happened with also like we have to have had Gamora as well as Loki proper come back as well. Also, technically now with the stones, basically back in the present. They were in the present now. They're back in time, and the people walk back and everything. Technically, doesn't it basically screw up the timeline though? Especially when they went back in time, because like the whole butterfly effect. Because like I know that things that happened in the past technically affect. If you change something there, it affects the future. So I would have thought it would have done that as well. But technically, how does it work the timeline now? So I'm a bit confused with that. That's what I don't really like confusion. So yeah. But yeah, what can you do? Also, yeah, speaking of the timeline thing, what about Loki? Isn't technically he alive though? Because like it's all that he took the Tesseract and then just left. God knows where. So technically he's alive. So why is he showing then? Where's he gone? God knows. So what's gonna happen with that then? Technically, if he's alive then, so shouldn't he technically be alive now in this timeline? So. Oh, also, the other thing I love as well is like I forgot to mention, and I would say this as well. Where everyone is, like we have Valkyrie. I like as well. Who's actually not just there, but she's also now the Queen of Asgard, and Thor going with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So hinting back to Thor, hinting back to Infinity War when he after he got basically hit and landed on the ship. So and also working with Groot and Rocket. So technically there. So would it be that he's now the new member of Guardians of the Galaxy or not? What happens to also I don't like as well what happens with like Nebula as well and stuff. How does it affect it and that? So like I said, a little bit nitpicks on that, but still. So overall review really is like 9 out of 10. I like it, but there are still some big problems. Good time travel thing, but other than that, like it. So my overall thoughts really. Do I like it? Yes, it's amazing. Would I watch it again? Yes, I would. Definitely. It's emotional as well, so definitely, yeah. But the best thing is I would say, because 3 hours quite long as well. So I suggest try and not go too often. Don't have like a massive drink, whatever. So try careful because you don't want to miss anything. You don't want to miss anything on the whole anything like that. So yeah, and so yeah, like I said, it's really good. I like it. I like it. Emotional, like I said, emotional, but I like it and nice to see. It's a nice send off as well to for the guess this phase. So the 11 years as well as making way for the next phase. Whatever the next phase will be is that whatever next film after because you have Spider-Man Far From Home. If they have a mid-credit scene and end-credit scene, you'll see what one out of the sequels or whatever prequel or whatever, is after. Whatever one is gonna started, because technically this Spider-Man is going to be like technicality the last one in phase 4, so phase 3 or whatever, this phase basically. That's to see which one is going to, you know, start it off. And that's it. I think I've rambled up enough. Basically talked enough. You know. Hit the like button. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And check out the channel for more previous videos. And click the bell icon so you know when I make my videos, as well as for comments below what next videos you guys want to do. And I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Also, hope you guys have a great weekend as well. You know. Also. Before I sign off as well, is that just a word of warning as well. From next week, I might not be able to make it, so which means no videos until probably June, I believe it is. June, yeah. So I'll be gone for like the rest of the month because of that time of year again, which is Ramadan. So I'll be fasting again, and I'll be too tired, and I just won't basically be with it, you know. I have no energy to make videos. I'll be too dead, so not dead in that kind of sense, but dead like too tired, you know, drained. So yeah, I won't be able to make it any videos. So I'm telling you guys now that this is the last one for a while. Next, and also, whenever I come back, which is after Eid probably, or the Eid might be Eid video, and then afterwards might be whatever video I think of during the time, probably as well. We'll see. But anyway, so yeah, thank you if you guys are understanding as well. That's all I'm going to say, because like I said, I talked enough. And before I sign off as well, have you guys seen it? This as well, do you like this film or not? You know, what do you think of it as well? Because I've had a lot of people like before the film as well, like, and after as well, say they have mixed feelings basically. Some like it, some don't. What's your guys' opinion? Let me know. Also, let me know who is your most favourite Avenger or favourite superhero, you know, and why. And in the comments below as well, like, if you have any superpower, what power would it be and why? Go on, teeth. As well as like, of all of the old superhero fit movies, what's been your most favourite? Let me know. And yeah, that's it. And I'll see you guys. Next I'll probably see you. Yeah, be after Ramadan. So after Eid probably. What I need. Never know. And like I said, I'm still rambling on now. So, and yeah, see you next time. Hope you guys have also a great weekend and great rest of the week. And also hope you guys are great back to uni and work, whatever. So whoever going back to work and stuff this week. Because I know Sussex, they started again. So yeah, hope you guys have a great weekend and stuff. So, and all that, and see you next time. And yeah.